it's been so much fun to live life with Rachael. Like, that's my best friend now. So it's like, it's fun and easy.
I mean, I know you talk about it a little bit and it's a hard question to answer, but anything you can tell me or insight you can provide of how you two moved past something that felt so, obviously it's so heavy, and the message of forgiveness is throughout the book and throughout something you've always talked about. But how did you guys, get there that we didn't see, that you feel comfortable sharing of how you guys did it?
Yeah.
Got to where you are now, happy, healthy, hilarious on TikTok with your food reviews.
I think that, when you're in that Bachelor bubble, like, it's such an intense experience that you don't know what is and isn't real, because you've got, all these girls saying they love you. You've got like the pressure to propose to someone, and like all this ancillary, just like, do this. And then for everything to happen how it does, it's like, I know how I feel. I just need to validate that. And like, I just needed to take a step back and make sure that those feelings were there, and they were. And allowing ourselves to have a relationship outside of that has been the best thing for us, because, we're not pegging our relationship up against somebody else. We're not doing these things to show that we're in a good space as a couple. Like, we're just living our lives and like just trying to be real with each other. And that's been our saving grace. It's just been doubling down on realness and like leaving the phony stuff for other people to do. And like, it's really that simple. Like, it's been so much fun to live life with Rachael. Like, that's my best friend now. So it's like, it's fun and easy.
I imagine it's like a communication crash course though.
I'm still working on the communication part. She's laughing. It's brick by brick. You gotta check things off as you go. And I'm not a refined boyfriend yet, but I'm getting there. And she's really good about like expressing how she feels in the moment, opposed to like harboring stuff like I have as just a guy in like in previous relationships. Like, I've never had like I feel this way. Like, I've never ever even thought about that. So like the fact that we're doing that stuff is like, I'm happy that that's where we're at in our relationship, that we can have those type of conversations, so that like there's no resentment. There's like, and we're getting past petty stuff that can be worked through. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Does it feel like a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel with all that stuff you guys had to navigate? Like, do you feel the kind of celebrate? Not that your life doesn't, the Instagram comments don't dictate your life, good or bad, but is it nice to kind of be like, oh, they're really nice now, and there are people of support, or do you guys try not to even give that anything?
I'll give it to you like this. It's like, I'm not mad at anybody for anything they comment, because they're taking the information that they're getting and they're processing it and they're dealing with it in real time. And they're not working with a full deck. They're only going off the information they're given. So I'm not surprised that as they get to know myself and Rachael more, that the feeling that they feel towards us changes, because they're getting these crazy messages from the media, from the news, that's half baked, that's like painting a picture of who we are and aren't. And if anyone cares to figure that stuff out, they can follow us. They can look at our content. Exactly. And then that's what's going to change the hearts and minds of people. And so as we continue to live our lives, I think that's going to continue to change people's hearts and minds about how they feel about us. And it's really as simple as that. Like, I can't fault them for what they hear on the news and in the media outlets, and taking that and running with it, because, that's all the information they have. So yeah. It's upsetting and frustrating, but it is what it is. And we're both blessed, and we're going to continue to be together. And it's always fun to see, people supporting that.
I didn't know you moved to Miami, and, I have to ask the Bachelor related question that you don't want to answer, but like, do you guys talk about marriage and where are those next steps after you tell me you love your privacy?
Yeah, no, did Rachael tell you to ask that?
Yeah, actually she did.
I say this, that like, I wouldn't be with someone that I wasn't considered marrying, especially at this point in my life. And we've talked about living in the same city and what those next steps look like. So yeah, it's everything's on the table, and it's nice being down in Florida now because I feel like I don't know. It was just I think Rachael was bearish on Miami before I moved down there, just because it's like, you know, the party connotation. But after spending a lot of time down there, you know, warming up to the fact, no pun intended, of being down there. So it's been a nice transition out of New York.
Yeah, you guys were living it up in New York, though. Well, before I let you go, readers do find out the origin story of ABC Food Tours and hear some stories about your time with these kids. But what can you tell me about what's next and what you guys have been up to with that, and if there's a way for people to get involved and all that great stuff? Yeah,
for sure. We've doubled down on the financial literacy aspect of ABC Food Tours, and just themes of where we can meet our students and their families. Because with everything that happened with COVID, for those of you who don't understand or have no context, ABC Food Tours is a nonprofit that myself and Tyler founded that services students in underserved communities. It started out from providing fitness experiences and food experiences, but with COVID, it's kind of shifted to, again, meeting them where they're at, which is, you know, needing financial literacy education, because the pandemic affected their families in ways that we could never imagine. And then as well as a physical and mental health life approach and journey, because, you know, being isolated in an apartment with, you know, at sometimes 9 or 10 other family members, not going outside, not having other interaction like that, who knows how that's going to affect this generation. So providing as much resources as we can to make sure that we're doing what we can to normalize having conversations about how I'm feeling. The parallels between what I'm dealing with and what they're dealing with are very in tune. So it's been a fun journey to provide resources to students like that, because it's something that I know I could have benefited from. And we just look for ways to service them as best we can.